How to safeguard your valuable right as a voter or an elector in the great Indian democracy. This is a short and a pithy talk that we are going to have today. A voter is the basic building block in any democracy, and sometimes we take for granted our right to vote. Now, this is not getting into the legalities of it all, but the procedural aspects. What happens is that sometimes we do have our voter ID card. It has a serial number, a polling booth number, assembly constituency number, and so on. And we save it and secure it, laminate it for the purpose that it is the evidence of and proof of our being the voter or the elector in a particular constituency. But what often happens when you go to vote, you produce your voter ID card and the person on duty says, "Sir, your name is not there on the electoral roll." And irrespective of the voter card, you are not allowed to vote. Now, what happens is this: a voter ID card is merely the proof of your identity, and it is not per se the evidence that you are actually an elector. For this, you have to constantly check the electoral rolls of your area and satisfy yourself that your name figures therein. Fortunately, these days we can do so online, and you can search by your name, father's name, address, date of birth, and so on, and find actually whether your name is there in the electoral roll or not. Why does your name sometimes disappear even if you're holding the voter ID card? Your card may be 10 years old. At that time, you had been enrolled as an elector. But what happens? Election Commission from time to time undertakes either a summary revision or an intensive revision. Generally, the intensive revision takes place close to the elections, and various voters are added or deleted, not only depending on the claims and objections, but also house to house survey taken by the officials of the Election Commission. So, for whatever reasons, your name could have been deleted, and merely holding that voter ID card is not going to be of any assistance. So, therefore, friends, you have to, and you're duty bound, I would say, it is incumbent upon you to constantly check that, notwithstanding the fact that you have a voter ID card, to go to the website of Election Commission of India and check for yourself whether your name figures in the electoral list. And if it is not, you can always make an application to the booth level officer or the electoral registration officer and make sure that your name is included. Also, any citizen of India, unless otherwise barred by law, if he is ordinarily the resident of a particular area, is entitled to be enrolled as an elector or a voter in that area. So, therefore, whenever any child attains the age of 18, you must immediately apply, irrespective of whether the elections have been announced or not, for the child who is now an adult to be enrolled as a voter. Carry other proofs of ID, birth certificate if you have, matriculation certificate mentioning the date of birth, or even the Aadhaar card, parents' voter ID cards, and any other proof of address. And the child can then be enrolled as a responsible voter. So, before we part, I would like to mention that the word voter does not occur in any law or even the statutory rules. The word is elector. But irrespective of that, we use the voter ID card as under a mistaken impression that a voter ID card is a proof of our being enrolled as an elector. As this small talk would have revealed, it is only the proof of your identity, and on many occasions before the elections, the Election Commission announces other photo ID cards as a PAN card, as a driving license, as an Aadhaar card, also a proof of your ID. But remember, do not be misled. So, even as of now, before and as soon as this talk concludes, please rush to your computer, log into the Election Commission of India website and see for yourself whether you are still enrolled as a voter. If not, take immediate remedial measures. Thank you and see you soon. An informed citizen is an empowered citizen, and be sure that you are enrolled as an elector. See you soon.